Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream after a quick break. We are back in the 6WC lobby. It's gonna be a matchup today between Team Ukraine and Kazakhstan. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dimitri, and joining me in the VC is the lovely Philoxen. Philoxen, how you doing, man?
Hey, welcome everyone. I'm doing perfectly fine. Just finished commentating Belarus versus Hong Kong, which ended up in an upset. So maybe this day is going to be your upset day. C7 versus C10. On paper, a really close match. And I wonder if Kazakhstan will be able to make an upset against Team Ukraine. They will be, though, playing in a very poor condition because RO16, their team carry, unfortunately is not gonna show up for the match. And the story about both of those teams is like they have one carry around which all the teammates revolve. So for Ukraine, it's Philoxenia, and for Kazakhstan, it was RO16. And he is not gonna be here today with us because he's having a study in China or something, which is a very base thing to do. But because of that, Kazakhstan will lose their carry. As we were speaking, we already jumped in the ban and pick phase. Ban and pick phase, and so far looks like a DT3 protect from Ukraine and RO16 from Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that is right, Philoxen. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see RO16 perform today, which is really unfortunate. I think the rivalry between Philoxenia and RO16 is definitely a very interesting one to observe, but I think this round will be the round where the rest of the roster really get to shine. The rest of the Kazakhstan roster really gets to shine, and we'll have to see if they come into their own form even without their team captain in this round of 16 matchup. Of course, it's not going to be easy whatsoever. On the side of Team Ukraine, you have a lot of accomplished players. Of course, not even talking about Philoxenia, but you have players like Wannabe Ritsu, you have Seising, you have Zersh, all specialists and masters in their own craft. But with that said, we're gonna get straight into our pick ban phase, and we're gonna kickstart this match with a DT2 ban coming in from Team Kazakhstan.
Wait, that's very interesting because, well, I'm sorry, but it seemed like Kazakhstan actually protected DT3 and not RO16. And banning DT2 and protecting DT3 is something not every team would do. But I think there is a solid explanation for that. Is that because Kazakhstan did have a 4-way FC on the previous round DT3, while Ukraine only had a 3-way. So looks like even though Ukraine is one of the best raw tapping teams in the tournament, Kazakhstan is staying on their ground on that DT3 protect. While Ukraine is actually going for RO16 and banning No Mod 3, a really control heavy pick, which they're actually pretty much comfortable on, so I guess trying to avoid the RNG just because of the low SR. We will see how this goes for both of the teams, and so far just awaiting for the pick from Ukraine.
Yep, that's right. We already see the early tension. Looks like Ukraine, interestingly, wants to avoid the Nomad tree. I think, looking at the statistics, Kazakhstan looks pretty solid on the Nomad 3s, and perhaps they want to dance around it. But I find it very interesting given how Nomad 3, if I'm not wrong, Philoxen, is Fadolog or Philoxenia's one of their best skill sets. So,
Indeed.
yeah, so I find this Nomad 3 ban very interesting. Meanwhile, we are going to see Ukraine open up with the hidden 2 pick, and ironically enough, this would be such an amazing match, such an amazing map for RO16 if he were to take on this map. But unfortunately, it is not meant to be.
Yeah, dude, you're hidden to kind of a low BPM, tapping 153 BPM, only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, so not too long. You will not get bored when playing the map. Has a bit of flow and some rhythm as well to it, though it doesn't have as much rhythm, and I would say as a gimmick it's a bit easier than Nomad 5 that we have, because Nomad 5 is very rhythmic, while this one is definitely less difficult in that case. But still, it's your AR8 with hidden that Ukraine is very much famous for. Fadolog, ZQ3, who we will be calling him Password, and Seising. Those three are really stable when it comes to low AR. They will have a support on the side of Kidzaga, so they don't have a really strong fourth hidden player, but still, those three on themselves are gonna be joining the lobby pretty much soon, I believe. While on Team Kazakhstan is gonna be Motic 88, Just Ramochka, and Legacy 14. Legacy 14 being one of the carriers of Team Kazakhstan. Aronx himself was saying that Legacy is kind of a new version of him, but yeah, and might even be potentially stronger than him if they improve enough.
Yeah, but we'll definitely have to see how it goes. I think going to this pick, Ukraine definitely have the advantage. I wouldn't. I would be surprised if we didn't see Sasing in. Yep, and Sasing comes in for Team Ukraine. Definitely the player to look out for from the Ukrainian roster on this map. I mean, the warm up, the heat and normal. If the heat and normal warm up is anything to go off of, Sasing is an incredible reading player, and this is his element. But that's it. I want to take some time to take a outwards look at this pool. I mean, at the end of the day, given how, I mean, even though Kazakhstan doesn't have Arongs, they don't have their carry, it's important to remember that this entire pool is still rather low SR. So by nature of low SR, a lot of these picks become a lot more RNG than Ukraine would probably enjoy. And for that reason, I honestly have some faith in Kazakhstan to make the difference, even without Arongs on during this match. But we'll have to wait and see. The good luck, have fun are coming in chat. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's kickstart this match with Ryu no Majo. Let's jump straight into it.
Yep, indeed, I would look out for players such as Legacy 14 and Swardy, who is not in the lobby anyway, but Legacy was the closest to Aronx by individual stats in round of 32, and after all, Aronx was not the only one who have seed DT3 in previous round. It was 3 of his teammates who also support him really well, so miracles can happen, and so far, looks like Ukraine is winning in terms of accuracy, because Motic found an early break, and the accuracy of his is only 90, and supported by his teammates still doesn't make them achieve a lot of score, because Ukraine is just having way better accuracy. But wanna be Ritz, the team captain, is gonna be the first one to fall down on the side of Team Ukraine, and now the situation is a bit more equal.
Well, that's the top 4 guy also does find a miss, and albeit with a lot of egg drops as well. But Password finds that miss, and right now Kazakhstan is actually gonna hold the combo lead against Team Ukraine as we move into the second third of the map. But they're gonna need more than where that came from, as the accuracy is still very much on the Ukrainian side. But Wannabe Ritsu and KYD both finding that miss. And now Sasing is the only one left on the Ukrainian roster that's still holding. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan, just Remo finds that miss. Top 4 guy as well, struggling to find his footing. But Motic and Legacy are holding strong, moving into the second half of the KI. The only limiting factor right now for the scoreboard is going to be accuracy. And accuracy is not playing in favor of Kazakhstan right now.
I mean, if you think about it, Kazakhstan did way better than Ukraine in quals on Hidden 2, so I don't really know why Ukraine decided to pick that. Sasing is playing out of his mind, but he is traded by Legacy and Motic. Password just found a crazy note lock, and now the score just flipped towards Kazakhstan. And if you think about it, once again, you will realize that Philoxene is also not in the lobby. It looks like none of the carries are playing for their countries, and this is why Kazakhstan is actually having the upper hand in this map so far.
Yeah, when left to the forces of the rest of the team, I mean, it does give Kazakhstan, the sporting cast of Kazakhstan, some room to grow. But with that said, we're seeing a bit of a Bancho mishap coming in from Legacy, and for now, it is still up in the air as to what is happening. I think we're waiting for his client to sync up. But as it stands right now, Team Ukraine now getting that slight 70k lead. Not too sure if Legacy scores making a difference in it. Gonna be a quick panic. Yeah, hopefully we should be back on the road. But we skipped straight to the scoreboard, I guess. And I'm not actually sure who came out on top.
Oh, we have to check MP link for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I think it came down to the wire, because considering if Legacy kept playing, it would have been pretty much close. But it looks like, oh, my bad, by 500k score, Team Ukraine actually emerged victorious on Hidden 2.
No, but
Because
that was with a DC. Yeah, that was a DC
oh,
from
he
Legacy.
DC'd. Oh, whoopsie. Then, oh wait, what do we do in this
Oh, wait,
situation?
pause. Because Legacy had a pretty solid score. It might have been enough.
He was FC'ing. He was FC'ing,
We
in
need
fact.
Legacy. I think we need to see a score, a screenshot of the score. Oh, it looks like Legacy actually provided a Twitch link.
Okay.
Yeah, Twitch stream is good. It's pretty good recording. Let's see what happened. We're gonna have to wait till Perry gives the verdict down on the ground.
Indeed. I mean, Legacy had at least 420k score before he DC'd. So, considering he was still
Would've been
FC'ing,
enough.
I'm pretty sure 500k score
Oh,
would be very much achievable for him.
yeah, and it looks like he got 650k. So if that's the case, then I think that's
Oh.
gonna be a first point to Kazakhstan.
And you know what, Gamili?
Yeah.
I'm afraid we are not gonna be seeing Philoxenia nor Aranx in the lobby.
Are you kidding me? Wait, where is my goat father lock? What?
Wait, did Fadalov like decide to for fair play, since Aranx is not here, I will not play as well, or something like that?
No way.
Imagine if this actually
If
happened.
that's the case, that is like infinite respect. That is infinite respect.
Wait, that would be so fire, and that is leaving. The supports actually try and become the carries for their teams for this exact specific match. So gonna be a crazy battles between Swardy, Legacy, Wannabe Ritsu, Surge, and Seising, I feel like. And so far, Kazakhstan starting off really strong with taking the break point of Team Ukraine, which is hidden too, and they show themselves really decent on the map. Now it's in favor of Team Kazakhstan to try and run away with that score lead.
Yeah, I find it very interesting once again that Ukraine decided to go for Hidden 2 on their first pick. Perhaps they were feeling confident with the carry from Seising, but I mean, Osu is a team game and it all relies on every single one of your players to make the extra difference. And the combined efforts of Team Kazakhstan were just that much stronger than the efforts of Ukraine. But meanwhile, we are going to get into Infinity Heaven as Kazakhstan's next pick is gonna be that No Mod 2.
It's gonna be your Infinity Heaven 160 BPM flow aim. Yeah, very much a lot of spacing. We're gonna be finally seeing Surge stepping in the lobby. Same for Password, Wannabe Ritsu, and Seising. Those three are staying all the way from Hidden 2. For Kazakhstan, gonna be Ramochka, Frozichka, and Legacy. The first appearance of Frozichka in the matchup itself, and still we are guessing who will be the fourth player. But you know what, Gami? I think when it comes to team mentality, Kazakhstan has always been really strong. Like, I just know these guys, they have a lot of team synergy. I'm pretty sure at least half of the roster, they met up in real life with each other, and they are generally good friends. I mean, I got some insights from Emochka Pro when I was commentating the match Belarus against Kazakhstan, so that's pretty much it. So gonna be really tough for Team Ukraine to deal with that mental game on the side of Team Kazakhstan. And as we were speaking, finally seeing top 4 guy joining the lobby and seeing some good luck have fun in chat, meaning the map will start right now.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into Infinity Heaven. I mean, this song needs no introduction. This map comes in 40 BPM slower than last week's No Mod 2, but where this map lacks in raw speed, it makes up in its aim requirement. There is a lot of flow aim involved in this map, and the streams on this map are definitely going to be longer. So really gonna be a test of your flow aim, gonna be a test of your focus during these 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. But with that, let's jump straight into Hue in Infinity Heaven.
Indeed, so far looks like Kazakhstan taking control over the accuracy, but still early days. Only 6k score difference. Ukraine just managed to bring that back, and finally the first burst section is gonna start, and Ramochka is gonna be the first one to fall on that burst, traded by Wannabe Ritsu, actually one of the more stronger tapping players on the side of Team Ukraine. That puts it in a 3v3 situation in terms of full combos, and so far Ukraine is winning, but I believe the first KI is gonna change things drastically pretty much soon. So far, still really relatively easy sections, and we don't know what will happen. As we were speaking, we're finally starting with the streams. So far no one is missing, everything is not decided yet.
Yeah, it is still from the lobby. Wannabe Ritsu, the only one to find a miss, and albeit with a 99% egg, so I mean the accuracy more than makes up for it. Just find a few egg drops, which is gonna make things a bit more interesting. But the scoreline is gonna slowly but surely shift in favor of Team Kazakhstan. Some glitches happening in the lobby, and it looks like just Remo finds that miss, traded up by Wannabe Ritsu, and for now, the scoreline is gonna continue to stagnate as the FCs in the lobby are 3-3. The accuracy, however, is just staying on the side of Team Ukraine, unmoving.
Oh god, this is gonna come down to the wire. Now we're faced with some sort of a slower section, so the lead for Team Ukraine is only gonna increase. But that last KI, you know it. It is the hardest flow section of the map as well, so I'm not expecting only Wannabe Ritsu and Ramachka to break, but actually some of those FCs, and as we were speaking, Frozichka is actually gonna be the one fighting the break. Everyone hitting that flow stream, but Frozichka just made it way harder for Kazakhstan. With another break, Team Ukraine is gonna be taking over the lead, but with a break from Password, this is still gonna put it in a very nervous situation.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're in the last quarter of the map. Time is running out. The flow in comes in, and Sasing finds that miss. That scoreline is going to shift, and it's going to shift very, very quickly. 40k, but the last few jumps are coming in. But Legacy finds a miss at the penultimate moment of this map. And with that, I think that's just going to be enough. That's just going to barely be enough to save Team Ukraine from getting that point stolen back from Team Kazakhstan. As the players walk towards the final seconds of the map, Team Ukraine will just barely survive with that 50k score lead.
And I believe this is a breakpoint right after a breakpoint. And also, this map so far, I think, it's definitely one of the closest, or not the closest maps so far that we have seen in 6WC main stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. This matchup is gonna get really intense. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping for that. Maybe even a tiebreaker potential, because so far we haven't seen any. And now, starting off, really interestingly, breakpoint after breakpoint, Ukraine is now gonna decide what to pick. And if I were Team Ukraine, I would honestly go for, I think, some aim-heavy map, because I'm pretty sure Kazakhstan did ban those just generic type of aim maps in previous match against Belarus. What do you think?
I'm really not sure as to what Team Ukraine wants to do from this point on. Definitely not the hidden two. Like I'm definitely thinking it's not gonna be in the hidden ballpark. They probably aren't too confident with it. I am interested in seeing what they can do on the free mod. However, I'm definitely looking at free mod 2 in this scenario. I mean, what are your thoughts on free mod 2? Oh, but it looks like they're gonna go for RO1, playing into uncharted territory.
Yeah, that's kind of a blind pick so far. Rise of the Chaos Wizards, your bursty Hardrock 1, mostly streamy, which is not typical for Hardrock 1 slot. Last time for Hardrock 1, we had that light tacky map, and in quals it was just generic wide jump aim. So this is definitely something that Ukraine is not aware of how Kazakhstan plays it. And same thing goes for Kazakhstan, so might be an RNG pick, might be not, especially considering that Kazakhstan just showed us that they can fight back when it comes to flow tapping on that Noma 2. This is kind of a risky choice for Wannabe Ritsu, I must admit.
Yeah, they seem to be really playing on their confidence going into this pick, right? I mean, at the same time, it might be seen as risky, but you have to remember, Team Ukraine has their Hard Rock specialists, right? They have people designated for the Hard Rock. You're seeing Rebecca, Fanboy, and Wi-Fi 3 Zersh coming into the lobby. Kazakhstan as well making their substitute, bringing in their one of their carry players, Swarty. So at the end of the day, Philoxon, I think this is going to be a very, very torn pick, especially given what we saw in the No Mod 2. That said, however, this is a lot more focused on your consistency. It's a lot more focused on your overall mental stamina going through this map. One of the longest maps in the pool, clocking in at almost 4 minutes long. This is going to be a war of attrition.
Indeed, might even be some sort of a stamina draining pick for some of the players who are not the most familiar with tapping like Surge. But we will see how this goes, considering both of the teams don't have their carries. I think if they had the carries, it would have been a whole different story, but now I actually have no clue who will emerge victorious on Rise of the Chaos Wizards. I can't believe we still have it in the pool. Such a banger song, such a such a popular one. But luckily for you, this is not the overused one. This is the one that I believe hasn't been used before. 4 minutes in the drain almost. And we're finally gonna be getting started with the map. For Team Ukraine, you have Password, Rikleya, Vanabi Ritsu, Serge, and for Kazakhstan, finally gonna be seeing Swordy, one of the carriers of Team Kazakhstan, excluding Arangs. Top 4 guy, Ramochka and Frozicka for this support. Here we are starting, but Bancho so far looks like it's taken quite a bit to load us up to the map.
That's right, but we should be off to the races very, very soon. Some Bancho issues here and there, you love to see it. And yeah, it looks like we should be good to go.
Yep, let's go.
Oh.
Well, without the two players. Okay, Bancho is not having the best day. We
will
had some
finish
issues.
before we get in. The map will finish before we get into it.
Indeed, man. I mean, last match that I commentated, it also was kind of a Bancho issue that we faced. Got some disconnections even. So yeah, hopefully not will be the same occasion for this match, as this is one of the more closer matches, and I really don't want to see any inconveniences when it comes to this rivalry. But so far, looks like Rikleya Fanboy is gonna be breaking the first. Wannabe Ritzo also found a break before that. Frozicka find a break. Everyone is finding a break except for Password and top 4 guy. We still don't know what is happening to just Remo, but they need to hope that they are holding an FC.
Yeah, I really have no idea what's happening. It might be a DC, it might be just Bancho doing some issues, but for now, let's talk about what we have on screen right now. I mean, looking at the FCs playing in favor of Team Kazakhstan, they're basically matching up, tied up with Team Ukraine. Meanwhile, Frozicka is finding a bit of an accuracy deficit against Rikleya Fanboy, and at this juncture, I mean, just Remo really needs to be able to make up that 160 combo. Oh, purgatory.
It should have been on the board, but it's not. And is this gonna be on the board? It's on the board. Oh man, we're already 1/3 into the map, but just got on the board. I'm pretty sure Remo got disconnected before that, but yeah. I see. Fair enough then. But still kind of sad for all of the players, because they already put a lot of effort into that first third of the map, and now we are telling them to basically just replay the entire thing. Could be kind of dismoralizing, but still. We'll see how this goes. Good thing Kazakhstan reacted in time, and we're getting that aboard. And for Ukraine, now they have to replicate their scores that they have been getting throughout the first KI section.
Yeah, that's right. I do think, it is sort of awkward for them. I think a lot of the momentum is going to get halted for both sides as well. But, oh man.
Yeah, it was okay, yeah, looks like Ukraine players are not so happy. Serge saying it was 40% of the map in. But
yeah, but I'm pretty sure the abort happened earlier before.
Yeah, technically, yeah. So should be chill, but still, kind of not the best feeling for the Ukrainian players over here.
Yeah. But I think this would just be a replay, hopefully.
I guess so.
Yeah. Oh man, that is... I love it. I love Bancho.
Oh man, both Bancho and Discord are trolling today. When we were commentating the previous match, our streamer got disconnected from Discord like 3 or so times. I don't know. And now Bancho turning out to also mad troll us mid-match. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there are some things we cannot control, unfortunately, if the servers themselves are not having the best time.
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, it's gonna be. It doesn't really play well in favor of either side. I think the momentum is really played a halt. But you know, at the end of the day, some issues just persist, and there's some issues that we just can't control. Ideally, in an ideal world, these problems wouldn't happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like they are complaining, but I think, yeah, for Kazakhstan, as you mentioned, also not the best feeling for them, on the other hand. Because some of the Kazakh players, they also were getting some decent scores, like Top 4 guy was have seen, Swordy was have seen, from what I remember. And it's taken the players a bit long to ready up for the map, I feel like. Yeah, so we're getting an intermission.
Oh, it looks like we are taking some time to fix things in the background. Oh, yeah.
I see.
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, it's not really that deep. It's really not that deep. I mean, what can you even do? What can you? I think it's in scenarios like this where you gotta think about it in your own perspective. Like, if one of your teammates got a late abort, you would want to be able to replay the map. So I think it's about, you know, being empathetic towards the opposing team in spite of mistakes. And it's not like Kazakhstan was getting absolutely demolished in that map either. I mean, they had some very, very solid scores. And at the end of the day, it isn't good for either side.
You know, I think it would be really funny if we just invited one of either Kazakh or Ukrainian players in the VC as we are just having the intermission mid-map.
Oh my days.
But finally, yeah. Rise of the Chaos Wizard, such a cursed map. It took us 10 minutes to get started, to get ported, and finally we're seeing the full lineup for the both of the sides, finally enjoying the map, hopefully.
Yeah, I really hope that Ritsu isn't too tilted from it. I do know that he was probably the most unhappy about the unfortunate abort, for what it's worth. I mean, a good start for the entire Ukrainian roster.
Yep, really good start by Frozichka, being the first one to actually have a lot of accuracy drops and an early break. This puts Ukraine in a very favored position, 3 versus 4 FCs, and the accuracy department is also on their side. Everyone holding more than 93% accuracy, except for Viklev Fanboy, who is kind of feeling for the map. I believe Fadiluk would have played instead of him, but this is not happening. While same goes for Frozichka, I think Aronx would have definitely performed better, but now with different conditions, the matchup is starting to get interesting as we are jumping in the first KI, and so far no one is missing, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, it is looking a lot better than how it looked, you know, earlier on in the map. We get into the first KI, and here's where we are expecting to see some misses. As of right now, Ukraine holding that 80k, 90k score lead over Kazakhstan just by nature of that miss from Froshka. And Froshka once again finding another miss, but it is traded up by Password, however, and that is going to give Kazakhstan some leeway. But I mean, just Remo is not looking too good in the accuracy, in the combo department, getting beaten out by, you know, all the 3 FCs coming in from Team Ukraine. But once again, this is a very, very long map, and we're just now getting into the second third of it.
Indeed, the score difference is not even shifting rapidly, as Kazakhstan recovered pretty much well, even though it's only 2 FCs from Swordy and Top 4 guy.
Oh,
Top
that's
4
big.
guy. Ooh, that miss from Wannabe Ritz was crucial. The captain with the best accuracy in the lobby on the side of Team Ukraine, just losing their FC, leaving Serge and Riviclea Fanboy with FCs. Riviclea Fanboy not having the best time when it comes to accuracy department, while looking at top 4 guy, the returning player from Team Kazakhstan, who was extremely strong on tapping. He is having 95% accuracy FC for a reason, and Sordi with a great support approaching 90% accuracy. The break from Riviclea is crucial for now, and now it's only 1 against 2.
Yeah, that break from Just Remo as well is going to prevent Kazakhstan from immediately taking that score lead, but that miss from Rebecca Fanboy is gonna give Kazakhstan the extra push they need in order to overcome that score difference. Just Remo, once again, finding it could be a hardware issue, some weird cursor movement there, but as it stands right now, the two FCs from Kazakhstan are doing wonders for them, and with Frozhiska finally finding his footing in this matchup and beating out Password's recovery combo last quarter of the map. And it's just going to be up to how much distance Kazakhstan can gain in this instrumental interlude. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but Frozhiska does find a miss on a slider. And that's going to be unfortunate as it gives Password some time to come back. But Zosh and Swarty both trade misses. And now there are no FCs left on the side of Team Ukraine. With Password going down, Wannabe Ritsu is the only one standing. Meanwhile, top 4 guy, as consistent, as stoic as ever, is walking into the last quarter of the map, the last ace of the map for 1.3k combo, looking to run the extra mile for Team Kazakhstan.
Man, top 4 guy, military service really helped him to control his nerves, and now he is the one coming in clutch for Team Kazakhstan, just nailing this last KI so far. Wannabe Ritsu and Riviclea Fanboy are having a boss fight against him right now as they don't have the full combos, but top 4 guy is staying unfazed and difference is happening. Top 4 guy is securing an FC.
No way, what an FC from top 4 guy. I mean, uncontested from the entire lobby. That was completely on top 4 guys' back. And I mean, the overall team score from Team Kazakhstan was very, very solid. I think Ukraine had a higher average across all of their players. But I mean, top 4 guy, what can you even do against such a stellar performance? Such a masterclass on Hard Rock 1. Not just having the combo, but the accuracy as well. Very, very impressive indeed. And with that, Team Kazakhstan gonna pull ahead 3-1.
Oh wait, yeah,
Wait, no, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. So it's just 3 breakpoints in a row. What is going on in this match? Top 4 guy, honestly, I was really surprised that he didn't perform so well in round of 32 and qualifiers, because I knew his potential and now he has finally showed it. And looks like Kazakhstan are going for their protect to try and run away with that match score lead. Well, the thing is, Ukraine is super strong when it comes to finger control and high BPM tapping. They got top 2 on DT3 in quals, and that map was hella hard, while Kazakhstan got way lower seed. But this is a whole different case, because it's only a 5.1 SR pool, and this DT3 is on the easier side of the pool in terms of both finger control and the BPM. It's only 195, so things can go either way.
That is right. This DG3 is one of the easier maps in the pool. It's not the easiest map in the pool. So really, this is gonna be a test of your low SR consistency. And for what it's worth, I definitely think accuracy is gonna be a very important factor in this map. Really one of the maps, one of the sort of miss or you die maps in this pool. Map clocks in at 1 minute and 44 seconds long, so there isn't a lot of room for error. Combos mean a lot more. But on a map like this, Philoxen, I think it's very likely that we'll see, you know, two, 3, or even 4 FCs on either side. And I think if they're even on combo, the accuracy is definitely going to be a lot more pronounced, and it's going to matter a lot more going into this DT3. But the good luck, have fun are coming in chat, and we should be off to the races very soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. This map broke the hopes of so many teams, so many upsets happen on that exact same map. But now, as we were speaking, both Ukraine and Kazakhstan having a whole different caliber. Those are high-seeded teams in terms of qualifiers. They know what they're doing, so accuracy, as you mentioned, is going to be a really important factor in this, because I'm pretty sure all of the players have really decent consistency, so it's not gonna be a problem for them to aim and hit those doubles and triples flickering between each other, but the accuracy is the way to win that map.
That's right, Philoxen. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tada Koe Hitotsu by Rokudenashi. This is your box standard hard diff plus DT classic 6-digit DT3, and it's all gonna be about that finger control. Let's jump straight into it.
Yep, right off the bat, we're faced with the first intersection, which is pretty much finger control heavy, and we can already tell that Ukraine is having way better situation in the accuracy department. Everyone having at least 97% accuracy, while for Kazakhstan Legacy, the carry of the team is not having the best time. It's only 82 for him, but now, as we were speaking, the first KI is starting and still no breaks are seen.
That's right, but this is where the intense section on the map really comes in, and Ukraine is gonna pull ahead with the early act lead. Looks like Legacy, that 88% act, not looking too hot for Team Kazakhstan right now. But once again, this is a very volatile map. Any miss will cause the score to absolutely swing.
I mean, yeah, and speaking of which, Remochka just got one of those 100 combo before that. Now, as we are speaking, one of the hardest sections of the map will start pretty soon. Maybe it already has passed. I'm just not sure because Bancho is once again mad trolling us live, which is not the best thing from Bancho to do. But yeah, here we are. It is starting. So far, everyone is holding. Will everyone be able to hold through to that section? And looks like everyone is having mad consistency on that. Everyone is seeing the break, 200k score difference. That protect from Kazakhstan might have been a mistake to pick that early because Ukraine will actually try and get a breakpoint. And so far, it is looking very prominent for them as we are jumping right in the last KI.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the pressure really is on, and as I mentioned before, right, any miss really means all the difference in a map like this. So volatile, so incredibly easy, so incredibly RNGable. And I mean, with that miss from from Justin Vimo, it looks like Ukraine is gonna make it the difference and tie the scoreboard up 2-2.
Yeah, and it looks like, to top it all off, Sporty is gonna be fighting a second break, and that only makes it way easier for Ukraine. 600k score difference almost, and a 4-way, almost 4.5 million score, 99% accuracy FC from Wannabe Ritsu, 98 and 97 from Search and Password. Kedzaga, a bit less accuracy, but it's still 95. That is such a badass way to take a breakpoint on a Protect.
Yeah, and that is such a dominant performance from Team Ukraine as well. They definitely must be feeling good from a mental side. And what a way as well for Loxton to segue into our second ban phase. Here's where the strategy gets interesting.
Oh yeah, indeed. I'm really excited to see what Wannabe Ritsu will decide to ban, as he is a very new captain of Team Ukraine. Because for 6WC you had Philoxenia, now you don't have Philoxenia, now it's just Wannabe Ritsu. He is your captain, and on the side of Team Kazakhstan, well, Aronx is not here, and he was your captain, so it's gonna be even more tough for them to adapt to playing without Aronx. And I'm not sure what Kazakhstan want to ban here. I would say some sort of a gimmick map like Nomad 5, as it is definitely way more intense in terms of testing your rhythm sense than Hidden 2. That Kazakhstan, even though they won, I still think Nomad 5 is a threat for Team Kazakhstan. While for Team Ukraine, I think they will try and maybe get rid of some of those easier maps, like Nomad 1, just your simple generic aim, something that Kazakhstan is definitely not the worst at. In fact, they get top 5 on Nomad 1 in quals. So what do you think, Emily?
And I'm looking at this from a more, match-based perspective. Looking at what both teams have won. And it's really all over the place. I think it's really all over the place. And if I were Team Ukraine, I'd still be looking at the one of the free mods. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna see a free mod ban from Team Ukraine. They're
Okay.
looking to take out free mod one. I'm really liking the free mod picks for Team Kazakhstan right now. I mean, they came out on top on that hidden two. And given the confidence coming out of RO1, free mod 2 looks like a very, very good option. But Ukraine is gonna shut down that free mod one for Team Kazakhstan, and now it is going to be very interesting. I think Kazakhstan could also, go for a DT1 ban. Definitely think that's very possible. I don't think they'll go for a hidden one ban, considering they did come out on top on that. So maybe a no more 5 if they are afraid of ceasing. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that either, given how they did win on Hidden 2. Nomad 5 just makes sense to keep in. So honestly, DT1 makes the most sense for me here.
Yeah, dude, indeed. Also, just want to mention a moment of silence for our custom mappers, because Nomad 3 and Fremont
Oh
1,
my god.
which both were made especially for 6WC, just got banned, so we're not gonna be seeing them. The only last custom map we have is Tiebreaker, so hopefully we will get that to be seen later into the match for, yeah, just for the bangerness, honestly. And so far looks like kind of taking them a bit too long to decide, but wait, just as I was saying that, it seems like Frima 2 is gonna
Oh,
be the way for Kazakhstan. Those two teams just got
okay.
rid of the entire free mod slot pool,
Damn, they just hate Fremont.
I guess.
That's insane. But yeah, we're gonna go back into, and now we're clearly in the mid game. This is where picks start to become a bit more ambiguous. But the difference between Ukraine and Kazakhstan here is that Ukraine does still have their protect on hand. So it's gonna be very interesting. I mean, to see how Ukraine utilizes their hard rock to protect moving forward in this matchup. But as it stands right
Ooh.
now, the question is, what will they go for? And they're looking to not go for their protect. In fact, they're looking to go into that no mod 4. It's gonna be Sugo Maelstrom.
Maelstrom, alright. Seeing that, very interesting. I feel like Wannabe Ritsu did his homework well, because for your information, Kazakhstan lost Nomad 4 against Belarus, who were seed 23 in their previous match. So I feel like Wannabe Ritsu definitely checked the MP link and decided that Kazakhstan is not the best control and tag team. So hence, this Nomad 4 is getting picked, and who will we see for this matchup is the question, because once again, your carries are not here. I'm pretty sure Legacy was the guy who was trying his best against Team Belarus, and he was the one who FC'd the map, but still it was not enough. So, considering Kazakhstan lost Nomad 4 against Belarus, even with having Arongs, this is going to be super tough for them to take over.
Yeah, definitely. This map features a lot of. It's a very diverse tag map. There, of course, is gonna be all your slider tests here and there, but this map, in contrast to what we saw from qualifiers and round 32, has a lot more tapping involved. It's a very, very dense map with a bunch of finicky and weird finger control rhythmic patterns as well. So, at the end of the day, this is a very, very good mixed tech test. And of course, this map clocks in at sort of your medium length, coming in at 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. BPM wise, 180 BPM shouldn't be much of a challenge for these players mechanically, but of course, it's gonna be the control that's gonna be very interesting to look at. Are we gonna see Fadolog coming in for this map?
Oh, wait. Was it him? There is no way.
There's no way. There's no way.
There is no way. What if he just joined for the funsies and then he left? But anyway, Gamil, I have really bad news for you, because someone just said that they are forcing timeout. I believe it's Kazakhstan, because Remo is having bad internet connection or something. So this is not looking great. So far, we got trolled by Bancho. If we're seeing a timeout on top of that, this is gonna be a bit scuffed. I'm not even sure. Wait, do we even have a match after that or right after that? Are we short on time or not?
I don't believe that we have another match coming up, but I might be wrong. 1 second. Oh.
Oh, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I believe this is the last match for today, so it is chill. It is chill.
It is chill. Okay, Chad, then stay with us. We got you some stories to tell, right?
Oh, my days.
Yeah, okay, Chad, how are you doing? While
Oh
we
my
are
goodness, we're doing
waiting,
crowd work. We're doing crowd work.
we're doing crowd work indeed.
Oh, 6-digit never change. It's been an hour and we've only played 4 maps. Oh my days.
I mean, look, we were doing alright until this exact match. Every
I
other match
love it.
was done pretty much quickly coordinated, but now things have changed, and they changed not in the not in the better direction.
Yeah, no, it's rough. And it looks like it'll take a while for us to get back onto the stage. But as it stands right now, I mean, I think I'm gonna take a quick water break and we'll be right back when the scene switches.
Alright then, sounds good. Then enjoy your water. Hope it's really tasty. And like, guys, like, am I the only one that has that feeling? But some, like, we have, of course, water, it has different flavors, right?
What the fuck?
And I believe, like, the tap water is the worst one. And then,
What?
yeah, indeed. And you don't agree? Because, first of all,
You've never had filtered tap water?
I did have filtered tap water, but mostly it's not filtered, and just normal
Oh.
tap water is kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. Also, because it has bad chemicals in it, you can get some things like acne, which is definitely not well for your body. Hi, Jorian, you want to join for the discussion?
They're getting ready now. The dome is ready.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have a
Then-
stream, chat? We have a stream?
I think we do have a stream. Unfortunately, we
Holy
will have to leave the water conversation for later, for a different timeout, maybe coming from Team Ukraine later in the match, so that I can educate you more. But anyway, here we are. Let's go, chat. And right off the bat, starting with Maelstrom, no mod 4. Gonna be password chasing Ritsu and Serge, the core of Team Ukraine, stepping in. For Kazakhstan, gonna be Swordy and Legacy, the 2 carry players, and top 4 guy, the returning player with Ramochka. How this will go, well, only God knows.
Yeah, that's
But
right. It's gonna be it's gonna be Sugo Suji Maelstrom by Nick. This is another, lovely six digit Tony map by Wispy. You love to see the guest list coming from Wispy. Our goated OWC low SR mapper. But anyways, let's jump straight into the action. As you can see, the sliders are coming in right now. This map features everything from tapping to aim to even some reading. It's gonna be a ride, definitely. And Sasing gonna open up the first miss for Team Ukraine. But of course, there's a lot of this map where it came from. We'll have to see how the rest of the map goes.
Indeed, very surprising from Sasing being the first break here. He's potentially the second best player on the side of Team Ukraine after Philoxenia. But yeah, he himself even is questioning himself. That slider break was not something he expected, but the build-up for the first KI is starting, and the actual gameplay of the map is about to start really soon. And here we are with a triple break. So one from Serge, double break from Team Kazakhstan from Sordi, and Legacy 14. Now it is a two-way versus only one-way FC from top 4 guy as Ramochka finding another break. Single wannabe read. So what is happening? Every misses across the board are not very pleasant for both of the teams, and just because of Password's consistency, Ukraine is getting saved right now.
Yeah, and that's where I was talking about, right? Or you were talking about Kazakhstan's weakness on Nomad 4 is so pronounced right now. Nobody on the side of Team Ukraine, apart from top 4 guy, can even begin to gain any footing on this map. And top 4 guy finds a miss as well. As I say that, Password is just completely running away with this map. 97% ag FC and counting, not to mention the 96 and 95% ag supporting combos coming in from Tasting and Zersh. That scoreline has already grown to the largest that we've seen outside of the GT3, growing to a massive 400k. And I think at this point that lead is just insurmountable. Ukraine is putting on a masterclass on this Snowmod 4.
Yeah, indeed, last quarter of the map left. Last time we were glazing top 4 guy, now it is Password, the guy who is just very much unknown for tournament scene. I believe he played like one tournament or two, and now his 6WC performance is definitely out of this world for Team Ukraine, this Nomad, for saving the team, because without him, I believe it would have been pretty much close. But he's gonna be securing the third point for Team Ukraine with a crazy FC. Now the match score is 3-2, and this is the first map that didn't turn out as a breakpoint.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully Team Ukraine moving forward has the footing that they need. But, I mean, this is the first, as you mentioned, Philoxen, now this is the first time Team Ukraine has won a point. And now the pressure is on for Kazakhstan to lock the fuck in and actually pick stuff they are good at, guys. What are we doing, chat? 6 digits trying to pick correctly challenge.
Oh man. We will only see potentially 3 more picks, and we only have 5 maps in the pool left besides the tiebreaker. So Kazakhstan is in a really kind of desperate situation, as if you think about it, Ukraine still haven't used their protect, which is harder too. Well, Kazakhstan already ran out of those, and in fact they lost the protect that they had to Ukraine right away. So gonna be really tricky for them. I would pick honestly. I would pick honestly something like DT1, but it looks like Hidden One is gonna be the choice of Team Kazakhstan. Ramushka is gonna be substituting Aranx as a captain, having the captain role over here, and so far that pick is looking very much reasonable to me, if you ask me, because when it comes to Hidden, Kazakhstan did pretty much well getting seed 13 in overall quals results, while Ukraine were seed 10 or something, which is not far apart from them. Well, I believe this also is because Ukraine, they are more strong on that control picks, while previous hidden ones, if you remember, they were very much control heavy. This is slider aim. This is a way different skill set that Kazakhstan, I believe, will be feeling way more comfortable on just because of this is your aim test and not your control test.
Yeah, that's right. This map features a lot of awkward aim. This is, you know, very different from what we saw from round of 32 and qualifiers. This is more of your classic tournament HG1 testing, you know, a bunch of awkward aim. The main difficulty of the main awkwardness of the aim patterns in this map come from these sliders. These sliders stretch very, very long, and with that, you know, you need to have very, very snappy movement in order to maintain, you know, your accuracy on some of these patterns. Gonna be very interesting to see how this goes.
I just also want to point out that not only this map has really tricky slider aim, which we already saw so many people break on previous matchups, but also some sort of linear jump aim, which also caught many players off guard in the previous rivalries. Especially in the first key, I would say this is when those linear jumps are gonna be the hardest. After that, they are gonna change their structure and will become more of a geometrical jumps, but still, this map is pretty much challenging in fact 2 different skill sets, and we'll see how this goes. No Love in LA is gonna be the determinative map if Ukraine will secure a breakpoint or if Kazakhstan will keep fighting. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a very, very still match, and this is Ukraine's chance to really make the difference. Funnily enough, we're saying that on Kazakhstan's own pick, but we've been seeing breakpoints so much this matchup that honestly, it seems more than likely Rebecca Fanboy gonna open up the map with a first miss, followed up by Zersh as well. Kazakhstan gonna put that early lead on the board right now.
Yeah, and also just look, Ukraine's putting Surge on Hidden, and Surge's least favorite skill set is Hidden, so looks like they are really lacking that fourth hidden player, because I would not put Surge and one Burrito on those maps, and those two are fighting breaks once again. One Burrito, a third break in a row. Frozichka trading him with top 4 guy, but still, it's a 2-way FC versus 2-way FC, and just because of the accuracies, I believe the score is increasing towards Kazakhstan right now.
Yeah, for the first time, I've seen Kazakhstan, in fact, having the accuracy lead over Team Ukraine, and that is what's making the difference for them right now. 100k and counting, despite the fact that Zersh is coming back with that combo. It's not shifting whatsoever. In fact, it's stagnating in favor of Team Kazakhstan right now. But, you know, we're getting into the next KI. This build-up is equally as precarious, the miss on, especially given the hit and adding that level of uncertainty to your aim. We'll have to see how it goes, but here we go, full throttle into the next KI.
The combo difference is quite the same, honestly, very close. Still no one is breaking as we are jumping right in those bigger slider aim sections, but still no breaks to be seen. Everyone has recovered. Those who haven't recovered are just FC in the map. Ramochka and Legacy with both 97% accuracies are gapping Password so far with only 95%, and the score is not moving anywhere. In fact, it only moved by like 20k towards Kazakhstan, which is basically nothing. One break and it's gonna flip over drastically.
Yep. That's right, the sliders come in, and here's... These sliders might not look difficult, you know, very slow jumps, but the nerves that you must be feeling, Team Ukraine succumb to the pressure, and Ritsu and Zersh both fall flat. Meanwhile, Team Kazakhstan are running the extra mile. Just Remo and Legacy finally in their element, 800 combo and counting. Beating out anything Pasco and Rebecca can put on the board. Meanwhile, top 4 guy and Frozichka with the recoveries. Unfazed, unfaltering, moving into the final KI. Just Remo and Frosty do find misses. So does Legacy, in fact. And all of a sudden, it's looking very, very scary, but I don't think there's going to be enough time.
It's just a slow
there's
section.
just not enough map. It's just a slow section, but some very awkward misses coming in from three of the Kazakh players, but it is going to be another point from Team Kazakhstan, taking the match 3-3. We have a match, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Password this time. FC in the map, the only FC in the lobby is him once again, but this time around, he is not gonna have enough score to save his team like in Nomad 4, because, well, top 4 guy and Legacy, despite having not the greatest accuracy, same for Ramochka, they secured those FC and crazy support scores, which really helped them to get that 200k score difference, and now it's a 3-3. One last pick from Team Ukraine is gonna be coming really soon. They really need to think of a great pick. They still have their protect, so honestly, just pick that if you ask me. But maybe they will go for something else. Maybe they want to make some experiments, but I feel
Ain't no way they don't.
Yeah.
Ain't no way they don't.
Ain't no way they don't, because this situation is too much intense to just have fun around the picks that you choose.
It's about the confidence, I think, going into this, like, the end game stage of the map. Confidence is very difficult to find when your pool is so limited. But yeah, the RO2 pick is gonna come up from Team Ukraine, and you know they need to get this point, because you know any team losing their own pick at this juncture of the map is just absolutely disastrous, both for the scoreboard and the mental. But Ukraine is gonna go into that RO2, gonna be carrying down.
Downs, your typical Hard Rock 2. Honestly, I was playing the map, felt like one of the best Hard Rock 2 maps so far. Pretty much enjoyable, which is surprising for Hard Rock 2. Having that slight slider aim, mostly just your typical precision check. The map itself is just 2 minutes long in drain, so not gonna take a lot to see who will get the match point. And when it comes to nerves, I think this is going to be really hard to maintain a good score on.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very precarious map, right? Especially when you take into consideration like the juncture of the match that we are at right now. I mean, we are at last pick for Team Ukraine, and RO2 is a precision map. It requires absolute focus and stillness and calmness. And I don't quite know how well these players can deal with the nerfs at when the pressure is so intense. On a map like this, it's all about that fast aim agility, but it's also a lot about that precision and your comfort on the CS6.5. The speedy aim does not help, or the very small circle size of this map doesn't help the insane amounts of rapid 200-ish BPM of aim that's just absolutely littered across this map. Not to mention, this is a very, very short map, so similar to what we saw in DT3, FCs are going to be a lot more important, and that scoreboard is going to be a lot more volatile than misses.
Yep, indeed. And just taking a look at those qualifier scores on Hard Rock 2, Ukraine were top 6, while Kazakhstan got top 12. So still pretty much close performances, and when it comes down to low SR, this is gonna become even more intense. And Ukraine will need to try their best to not fall apart, as it is in their interest to win their own protect. And while the match score is 3-3, they realize that it might even be an upset if they just take it too easy on Kazakhstan. We are finally gonna be seeing our lineups: Wannabe Ritsu, Password Search, and Riklia Fanboy. The same lineup that we had for Hidden One is gonna be playing Hard Rock 2, while Kazakhstan is gonna be sending in Swordy, Top 4 Guy, Legacy, and Remo.
That's right. But once again, this is a very crucial pick for Team Ukraine right now. I mean, if they lose this, they're not out of the game yet, but there is a lot of pressure going into having to win Kazakhstan's breakpoints, which I'm sure, the Ukrainian roster would rather not have to deal with. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into Nekomata Master Carrying Dance by Miller.
Yep, indeed. Definitely players to look out for, I would say, Wannabe Ritsu. This guy specializes in hard rock and double time tapping, while for Kazakhstan, definitely look out for Legacy, as he is usually your consistency guy when it comes to Team Kazakhstan. So far, Remo looks like they had an issue with internet, but finally they did not get disconnected, so we are seeing them back. We just need to wait a bit for them to sync up with everyone else, but so far the score difference is 100k, and this is looking very prominent towards Ukraine, because there is a double break going on the side of Kazakhstan from Swordy and Legacy 14, and Top 4 Guy as well, honestly. It's just Ramochka with the FC.
That is right, and as we get sort of to the middleway mark, it looks like Team Kazakhstan is actually really bringing the heat. That scoreboard is nothing, but it is going to favor Team Ukraine, as Legacy and Top 4 Guy alongside Swordy also find misses. Thus, trading it up, however, gonna make it a bit more competitive. But as we move into the second third of the map, I mean, this map is very consistent in its difficulties, minus, some of the KIs here and there. It's just a very volatile map where you can miss at any juncture. We just saw Legacy do just that. Just Remo as well, finding that miss and that lead that Kazakhstan was holding is now looking very, very prone to shifting over to the left side, as Wannabe Ritsu, Password, and Riveclia are doing a very good job holding that combo lead. And that miss from just Remo is just gonna solidify that alongside Swordy's miss. Riveclia Fanboy misses, but we move right into the KI, and Team Ukraine score lead is just skyrocketing.
Oh yeah, man. And even though Kazakhstan definitely having an accuracy advantage, Swordy was having around 99% accuracy, pretty early into the map, but now it's in the favor of combo to determine the winner, and Wannabe Ritsu is fully adapting to that situation. 500 combo, 97% accuracy, looking forward to have seen the map and carrying his team throughout Hard Rock 2. Even though he found the break, the damage has been done. 700k score from him, and a crazy support from Password with almost 600k score, and that puts Ukraine in a 4v3 situation.
Oh, I've played these games before. Oh my goodness. Given the state of the match that we're seeing right now, Team Kazakhstan is now put between a rock and a hard place. I mean, they have their pick, of course, and for the record, they still have a very solid No Mod 5 pick at their disposal. But at the end of the day, it's not free. And you are under so much pressure against Team Ukraine right now. You're this close to that tiebreaker without your main roster. without your main carry, mind you. And Kazakhstan goes for that predicted no mod 5 as well. It's gonna be Amataru playing in the same genre of map as the Hidden 2. The only question is, will they be able to make the difference?
Wait, this is very interesting. I'm pretty sure some of the Ukrainian players remember this map, or at least have a general understanding of what this is, because this map really reminds me of group stage No Mod 5 from previous iteration of 6WC, because this map is also very much rhythmic. I would say the vibes of the song are very creepy, so if you have bad
Vocaloid!
nerves,
Woo!
yeah, indeed, very spooky, you know. If you have bad mental state, then I would not advise you to play the map. But Kazakhstan decided to gamble on that gimmick because of that breakpoint on Hidden 2 that they got against Ukraine.
This map is also very intuition based, right? A lot of the rhythmic patterns are pretty memorization intense. I mean, it's not that bad, of course. It's not gonna be like your AR0 or negative or minus infinite AR map. But you know, this map very rhythmic in nature, and the aim as well doesn't do it any favors. A lot of weird patterns here and there. Honestly, Vitas is an incredibly finicky and incredibly interesting mapper. Very happy that I really love Amataru as a map. But of course,
Indeed.
Team Ukraine looking like they're taking their time to get into the lobby. They do not want to let this go to tiebreaker.
Yeah, for sure. Because, well, tiebreaker is, yeah, is basically aim. Even though it has different types of aim, still, it tests your consistency. And Ukraine, I'm pretty sure, without Philoxenia, they will not want to play something aim-based. So, Nomad 5 is gonna be a great opportunity for them to take another breakpoint. They finally seem to train the map fully. This map, once again, I believe is the same artist who made the Kuzu, the 6WC4 Nomad 5, which was really fun to play. And this map is by any means not more boring than the previous one. We're gonna be seeing the gimmick specialist Sasing joining in the lobby. Search and Password are perma-lobbying. Both are here with Ruviklia fanboy. This is gonna be the core for Team Ukraine without Philoxenia. For Kazakhstan, Motic88, the gimmick specialist of their side, Ramochka Legacy, and Frozichka as well. Seems like these are gonna be the finalized rosters, the final stand for Team Kazakhstan to not let that breakpoint slide on the side of Team Ukraine is gonna be starting right now. Amataru, Might by Ferrum, and with this insane difficulty is gonna be seen on our screens right now.
That's right. We are at the pivotal climax of this matchup. At the end of these 2 minutes, we'll be able to see whether we have a tiebreaker or will Ukraine just walk away with it. The pressure is on as we move into our first KI right into the action, and you get to hear, you know, the very heavy dubstep in the background. As of right now, Ukraine is gonna be holding that score lead, and misses come out from Team Kazakhstan. Just Remo and Legacy alongside Forgeska, all 5 misses. Complete combo wipe from the side of Team Kazakhstan. And meanwhile, on the side of Team Ukraine, Zersh, Chasing, and Password still holding strong as ever. Philoxen, it's not looking too good.
This is not looking good at all. Looks like the practice that Ukraine did right before the map paid off while Kazakhstan stayed in the lobby. All of their 4 players was a mistake. They should have practiced. And now, even on the easier parts, Ramo finding a break. All the others have recovered, but the score difference is already around 400k, and there is a 3-way going on the side of Team Ukraine. There is pretty much nothing Kazakhstan can do. They just need to hope for everyone to break at once on the side of Team Ukraine. They need a full combo reset, but so far it's only a slow section and we're not seeing any breaks.
Oh my goodness, in heartbreaking fashion. I mean, there's a reason why Team Ukraine went for the hidden 2 pick at the very beginning of the match. They were still confident on that reading, and it's ironic given how that was Ukraine's first pick and that is Kazakhstan's last pick. And in poetic fashion, Team Ukraine might have dropped that point on Hidden 2, but they are not looking to repeat history on this No Mod 5. They are going in for the kill. They are going in with bloodshot eyes, and they are slitting Kazakhstan's throat as we move to the very last part of No More 5. I don't think there's anything that Team Kazakhstan can do at this juncture. And what a way to close out the map. What other way to close out a match than a 1-0 team score in favor of Team Ukraine on Kazakhstan's own pick? What a show
Holy.
of dominance from Team Ukraine. And with that, they will be moving forward in the winners bracket. Team Ukraine, a stellar performance, even without their carry in Philoxenia, who is right now playing another grand finals in SCT2.
God
But
damn it. I
I mean,
always do
with
that.
that said, but with that said, Kazakhstan is still put up an incredibly good fight even without their carry of Arong. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these two rosters are rosters where they're very reliant on their carry, on their singular carry. But at the same time, I think it's safe to say that both these rosters have a lot of firepower that is often underlooked in favor of, the big names coming from both these rosters. So, walking away from this match, of course, there has to be a winner in Ukraine and there has to be someone who gets dropped down, Kazakhstan. But for what it's worth, huge props to the supporting cast of Team Ukraine and Team Kazakhstan during this match. I think they've more than proved themselves today.
Yep, for sure. Both teams proved that they can be independent from their carries and still put up some crazy performances, like that DT3 from Ukraine. So yeah, great job from both. And Ukraine is actually gonna be advancing to play against Indonesia next round. So your Philoxenia versus Zerulia matchup is gonna happen pretty soon. And Kazakhstan is gonna be falling in the losers bracket, I believe, facing off Germany. So
they are going to wreak havoc in losers. Holy crap.
Indeed. If Aranx will come back, then for sure, I'm pretty sure they can go all the way up to semis, if not even finals. But we will see how this goes. For now, I think this is gonna be it for me.
Yep, huge shout outs to everybody involved in this match. I know it has been quite a doozy, but huge thanks to Perry for being the lovely ref, as well as Jorian being our streamer for this match. As well as, we can't forget Mr. Philoxen in the commentary booth with me. Always a pleasure having you casting with me. Any last words from you, my guy?
Yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure commentating. Tomorrow we're gonna have way more matches, which I think both me and Camille are gonna take care of. So, yep, once again, familiar faces, we will be there. Stream pings will always be there, so make sure to stay tuned, and I will see you guys later. Thank you all for watching.
Yep, that's right, Philoxen. You put it better than I ever could. And with that, that will be the end of day one for this round of 16 of the 6-digit World Cup 2025. My name has been Gabby Crayola. His name has been Philoxen. And as the tiebreaker song comes to greet us, we will be saying goodbye. This has been Project Hexagon. You are watching the 6-digit World Cup, and we'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye.
Bye bye.